Hi, welcome to Crafty Mama's Creations, and stay tuned for the quick tip of the day on how to backstitch. Hi, I'm Lori, and welcome to Crafty Mama's Creations quick tip of the day. Today I'm going to show you how to use the backstitch feature on your machine and explain how and why we use a backstitch. Okay, first we want to talk about what a backstitch actually is. On a sewing machine, it's just a technique that you use. It's like reverse stitching or reverse sewing that most machines will have. In other words, what we're going to be doing is sewing backwards and forwards over a seam that we've already sewn. Now, when would we use this? We usually do this at the beginning and the end of a seam. Why do we use this? Well, most of the time we use this to make sure that our seams don't come undone or come loose. It kind of locks those stitches in for you, and it strengthens that seam. Now, would we use the backstitch on all types of material? No, probably not. Most of the time, you're going to use the backstitch for cottons, cotton blends, or canvas, heavier weight materials, maybe some fleece or flannel. Typically on those types of materials or fabrics. Most of the time you probably won't use a backstitch on the thinner sheer materials, because what's going to happen with those is it's going to make too big of a seam, have too much stitching. It may show through on your fabric on the other side and make it too bulky. Also, it could make those thinner materials just not drape correctly. So you have to be careful with thinner materials. Those I typically don't do a backstitch on. I just sew my seam all the way to the end, pull the thread through to the back side, and just tie a knot in it, a double knot in it on the back. Now we want to locate the reverse or backstitch button on your machine. On mine, it's on the front at the very bottom, and it just has a little arrow going backwards. Every machine is going to be different, and unless you have a very old machine or an industrial type machine, you should have a reverse or backstitch button located somewhere on your machine. If you're having trouble finding that, just refer to your owner's manual for that. Now that you have located the back button or backstitch button on your machine, I have chosen just a piece of scrap material with a contrasting thread so that you can see the stitching better. And we're just going to sew just a regular seam. So and I'm going to show you, here is my backstitch button. I'm going to stitch just about 3 or 4 stitches forward as I normally would when I begin my seam, and then push my back button and go back right on top 3 or 4, and then let it go to finish my seam out to the end. And when I get close to the end, the last few stitches, I'm going to hit the back button again and finish it out. And you can clip the edges. You do not have to pull the thread through to the back and knot it. That back stitch just locked it in for you. Okay, so that's all there is to learning how to do the backstitch. Hope this helps you out and saves you a little bit of time. Stay tuned to Crafty Mama's Creations for more quick tips of the day.